Hey folks, Valentin the Mad here, and today we'll be looking at the character responses in Ground Branch. As you've seen in the demonstration, the new Ragdolls are just awesome, and in this video we'll be discussing them, as well as the blood effects, what we have now and how they can be improved without going too far. So, let's get right into it. First up, there is no dismemberment or any big mutilation of any kind. It isn't planned, which is fine, but I do think that some response for grenade shrapnel would be needed. Right now you have nothing. You do have wounds though. As for the good, they will appear at the point of impact, and I haven't seen them float around on the body or project onto the surroundings, issues I have seen in other Unreal Engine 4 games. As for the issues, the obvious one is the looks, and I really hope this will be addressed later down the line. Without any advanced functionality, just a hole with blood splatter around it would look good and would deliver a decent response. Sometimes wounds simply won't appear, and on the geared AI enemies, there are many parts on the body where they won't appear at all, consistently. As for the blood spilling, you have stains if there's a surface right behind the character. As for the looks, some are kind of nice, but other ones are these circular drop patterns, and that looks kind of weird. The other issues are that they disappear in 30 seconds with no way to configure that, and of course that they appear only if there's a surface right behind the character. When there is nothing, the surroundings will be clean. Now should be noted that a blood pool mechanic is planned, so it will be coming sooner or later. The big feature is of course the new Ragdolls. What you have is location specific responses. If you shoot the head, the character will either get instantly turned off, or there is a more dramatic fall that looks quite cool. The latter response, when combined with the surroundings, can deliver very impressive results, and that's the really nice ones you've seen in the previous video. That brief pause and fall thing was just a massive damn moment for me when I saw it, and in my impression, that's the dramatic fall when there's a wall right behind him, couldn't go backwards, so crazy cool stuff. Anyway, if you hit the side, there's a special animation for that. You have the throat grab. A shot in the junk is also taken into account. Now, not only is the shot itself very brutal, you see the character fall on the face, and when it happens near a door, the result is pretty amusing. And of course, you have the lengthier animations. When hit in the neck, stomach or upper leg, there is a chance that a 10 seconds long animation will be activated. And like the other ones, those are very well animated. Even though they are not that long, they are very brutal and they look just awesome. All of it of course being an active Ragdoll that does respond to the surroundings. Aside from those, there is also a tense up response on the fatal hit, also for hits around the upper leg area. Not as dramatic as a throat shot, but also quite brutal. A few points about the lengthy animations. At the moment, they can't be interrupted. It does feel like the sidefall and the crotch shot are asking for prolonged variations for those as well. And the only issue I have is the activation is very rare. So, as I mentioned, you have only 3 areas that activate them, and when those are hit, there is a 1 out of 9 chance of a long animation being activated. So, 8 out of 9 times you get a short animation, and 1 out of 9 you get a glorious lengthy response. When I began filming for the previous video, after not seeing them in about 40-50 kills, I was wondering if they are even there. What I would suggest is a console command that you can put at the end of an INI file that would let you configure the chance of a lengthy animation happening based on your preference. It's an awesome feature and it would be very cool to see it happen more often with you having direct control over how often. And should be noted that there will be more in this aspect. A basic medical system is planned and so are disabled states and an option to drag injured characters to safety. It does however reference players in the Steam description. Hopefully we'll have disabled states for AI characters too and NPCs interacting with their injured teammates. I just recently covered the Selects mod for Arma 2 and if we could have similar functionality with smoother looks together with the features we already have, this will really be something else. Lastly, I do want to mention one more feature. You will hear a very audible thud when the character hits the ground, and that too helps make it feel even weightier. Something about how it's done here just delivers a stronger effect and it does pop out way more than it does in other games. In conclusion, for the game as a whole, not just character responses, this patch is a massive game changer. Despite issues it still has, the game feels like a much more solid experience and, generally, a lot more enjoyable now. As for our topic, the Ragdolls are much better than I personally expected. Really just very well done stuff. So, I'm quite curious about the future improvements to the damage model, and hopefully they will address some issues in the blood and wound aspects too, and let players configure the amount of mess on the surroundings. Without going for extreme gore or anything like that, the game is not far from delivering a very decent response. So, that's it for today. Do let me know how you feel in the comment section, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and share it around. And consider supporting the channel on Patreon. For $1 a month you get these videos a week early, you get the interviews a week early, and you help out the channel. So a big thank you to all the Patreon members, and consider joining as well. Also, if you like the music you hear in the intro, outro, and in the background, the YouTube and Spotify playlists are in the description. Until next time.